Alrighty, so today we're going to finally review the two round of 16 match to conclude the round of 16 that we see in this World Cup, because yesterday I did get home relatively late, and it's kind of interesting the fact that today we don't have any World Cup games, and the same thing for tomorrow, and we don't have one until Friday, because literally up to this point we have had World Cup games every single day. It's been like bang, bang, bang in terms of all these games, and it's kind of weird waking up today knowing that, oh, there's actually no World Cup games that is going to happen. But that being said, in terms of the two games to finish off round of 16, well, we saw one game where not much happened, and then the other game where everything happened. So let's begin with the game that not much happened except in the PK shootout between Morocco versus Spain. And I want to thank Morocco for finally providing an upset in this tournament, because throughout this tournament, I was hoping the fact that with the chaos we saw in the group stage, let's hope that that kind of is the same case when we head into the knockout stage, and that just have not been the case. Like, literally every team that's been favored coming in to the round of 16 have been able to win, and this was really kind of the last chance for an upset. And it happened with Morocco getting the unusual 3-0 victory in a PK shot, and we'll talk about why Morocco was able to win 3-0 in a PK shot against Spain. Because you know how Japan did very terrible in the PK shot? Spain basically said, hold my beer, in terms of this game in the PK shootout. Now, early on, as expected, there was a lot of possession early for Spain. And also, if you were a fan of goals and also some crazy action, and there's a lot of chances in this one, this was not the game for you. And I had a feeling this was going to be the case because, you know, when you watch most of the Spain match, it's been, besides the first one where Spain just thrashed Costa Rica 7-0, it's been really kind of dull at time, and this was kind of the case in this one, where Spain was just kind of passing around and hoped to maybe create something going forward on the attack. And as I said, they had a lot of possession. Like, there was at one point, I think they had like something like 85% possession, and Morocco was just kind of sitting back and just, you know, hope that maybe they can bunker in a little bit and force Spain just kind of passing around and don't have a lot of fruition in the final third. And it kind of worked, because Spain, again, they were just passing around. They weren't creating any attacking fruition, wasn't even troubling that Moroccan defense. Hakimi actually had a chance on the free kick from 24 yards out, but he puts that one high. Before Bono denied Gavi, and he actually pushed that one onto the post. But it actually fell kindly right to Ferran Torres, and I think Ferran Torres is probably very glad that the flag went up, because he was in an offside position, because he was literally on the doorstep of goal. He had an empty net to shoot there, and he puts that one high. And again, the flag kind of saved him from a bit of an embarrassment, because if the flag didn't went up, then he basically just did a Lukaku there. But in the 26th minute, Asensio puts it into the side netting, as Spain finally started to create some chances after they were just knocking the ball around for 25 minutes. Spoiler alert, that would not continue, because in the 42nd minute, on the other end, Aguirre just heads it high from close range there, and we head to halftime scoreless between both of these teams. Now, in the second half, Bono did palm away a dangerous cross that Olmo was trying to put in. Spain continue to be clueless when they get into the final third. Like, again, this was literally the plan that Morocco had. They know that Spain doesn't have a lot of quality in the final third. They know that they're just going to pass around and hope that there's somebody's going to get into a good final third space, and they did a good job in terms of that. But that being said, at the same time, you know, if you're Spain, this has been a problem for this tournament. I mean, besides that one outlier against Costa Rica, they have not been good whatsoever in the final third, and they are a prime example of possession doesn't always mean that you win games. If you don't create anything with that possession, it really doesn't matter how much possession that you had. And again, you know, just them averaging 80% possession and having like thousands of passing, it doesn't matter if you can't able to find a way to put that crucial final pass to create a chance, and that's what Spain didn't really do for a majority of the game. Now, Morata then put a dangerous cross that no Spain player could reach it before he heads it high from close range, and then Bono had to rob Pedri from close range. As you know, Spain, they started to finally show some desperation. They want to get this done before extra time, because you know Morocco was trying to play this one into extra time. They know that the longer this one stays 0-0, the more opportunity that they have to win this one. So indeed, we did head to to the end of regulation at 0-0. So for the second time this tournament, we go to extra time. And in the first half of extra time, Chidera, yeah, he want this one back. He went through on goal there, and I think he was maybe thinking about the headlines because he just couldn't keep his composure to strike one cleanly. And I thought Spain's got to be careful on the counter because you know Spain is playing a very high line. You know Morocco is looking for those counter attack, and that was a great example of how Morocco is going to create their chances. They were able to get past that Spanish high line, and when they're able to get past that high line, it's all green in front of them, and that, yeah, they Morocco almost got themselves the 1-0 lead. And then Simone had to deny Chidera on the doorstep of goal, so Chidera, the substitute, yeah, it's good that at least his team won at the end, but you know that if Morocco didn't win, he's going to be thinking about those missed chances that he had in this one. So we head to the end of first half of extra time, still being scoreless, and in the second half of extra time, it just felt like Morocco was trying to take this 2 penalty, and Spain was pushing to try to win this game because as a favorite, when you of course are pushed all the way to a PK shootout, yeah, that doesn't usually give you the edge. Though in the first minute of stoppage time, Al Yamik almost scored an own goal as he actually stuck a leg out on a dangerous cross and put behind for a corner. Like anytime when you're a defender and you stuck a leg like that, it is a very risky move, and he is very fortunate that one goes behind for a corner. But on that ensuing corner, the post actually, or actually not in the ensuing corner, but the post actually denied Sarabia from a tight angle. It was more kind of like a cross rather than a shot, but it actually did nick the outside part of the post. So yeah, Spain came close in terms of scoring a walk-off and broke the hearts of the many Moroccan fans that was in the stands. Again, this was pretty much a home game for Morocco, as it is the case throughout this tournament. I've mentioned many times before how Morocco, probably one of the best supported team so far in this World Cup. But that being said, we do go to a PK shootout, and in the shootout, it's Hakimi, the ones that convert the winning PK shot, and what a storyline that has to be, because Hakimi, he was born in Madrid. His family had to do some hard labor during the time there, and that, he was able to beat the country at birth. Not the first time we have seen this happen in the World Cup. But at the same time, I mentioned why in the world did the scoreline being at 3-0? Well, it's because Spain decided to do a Nashville and San Jose Earthquakes in this PK shootout, and that is they missed all 3 of their PKs, including hitting one onto the post. And they also mentioned the fact that Spain practiced the penalty kick shootout like 1,000 times before this tournament began, and this is a prime example of it doesn't really matter how many times you practice a PK shootout. I mean, sure, maybe it will help you when it gets to a PK shootout, but there's nothing to practice compared to the environment that you could be in during the game, because the environment of being in the game compared to practicing on training is a completely different animal. And I also just wonder, maybe that Spain just kind of fell through the pressure, because as I said, the pressure was on them in that PK shootout to win it, and that, yeah, I think they must have gone a little bit under the pressure. And that at the same time, I would say that Bono did a good job in terms of saving a couple of them. But yeah, in the end, we finally saw an upset in this one as Morocco was able to win in a PK shootout. The shots in this game very low, 6 shots compared to 13 that Spain has. Only 2 shots on goal compared to 1 that Spain has. 4 shots off target compared to 7 that Spain has. 5 shots that was blocked compared to none that Morocco has. And possession-wise, 77% possession compared to just 23% possession that Morocco has in this game. But like I said, it doesn't matter how much possession. If you don't look threatened going forward, which Spain for the most part was not against that Moroccan backline, that's why this game stayed scoreless for a very long time. And you got to give a lot of credit to this Morocco team, fighting very, very hard, and even had some chances to win in regulation. But overall, what a historic moment it is for their country. And now they're going to be moving on into the quarterfinal, where they are going to be playing against Portugal. So this was a game where, I know the storyline could have been easily the fact that this was an unexpected lopsided affair where Portugal was able to win 6-1 against Switzerland, because of the fact that this was probably the most evenly matched round of 16 match that we've seen in this World Cup. But really, let's be honest, the big storyline coming into this game has to be Ronaldo getting benched, and there's been talks about the fact that whether did he get benched because of his poor performance, or the fact that he got benched because of tactics wise. Like the Portuguese head coach did say that it was just for a tactical reason, but let's be honest, I think he's just tried to kind of not throw his star under the bus, because I think when you look at this tournament, CR7 has been very poor in terms of how he's performed in this tournament, and also those big discussion just leads to even bigger discussion at the end of the game, because it turns out the replacement that he did, not only he got off in this one, but he basically did something that nobody has been able to do in this World Cup. Now, early on, not much happening early in this game, as there was no shots throughout the first 15 minutes. The first shot actually went into the back of the net, as Gonzalo Ramos, the guy that replaced Cristiano Ronaldo in that starting row, he scored from João Felix to make it 1-0 in favor of Portugal. I have no idea how he was able to score this one. Like, he was trying to kind of hit this one almost off of his back foot from a very tight angle, and you have to do something really incredible to trying to score in that distance. And that's exactly what Gonzalo Ramos did. He basically rifled that one top over the head of Sommer. And, I know some would say that Sommer probably could have done better. I don't think so. I mean, that's just one of those ones where, when you hit it so high like that toward the near post over the goalkeeper's head and from a short distance like that, no goalkeepers in the world is going to save that. In fact, I think Jan Sommer was pretty surprised the fact that that one actually hits it over his head. And yeah, that gives Portugal the 1-0 lead. Octavio then hits one straight to Sommer before Ramos did the same thing just 1 minute later. But Portugal, they had the momentum. Like, they looked to try to push for the second goal, though Shaqiri tried to tie it for the Swiss on the free kick, but he puts that one on before Shaw almost scored an own goal there, as he actually heads this one backwards toward his own goal. But he is very fortunate that of course went wide. But unfortunately, on the ensuing corner, Portugal would take the 2-0 lead. And it's the old man, Pepe, scoring from Fernandes to make it 2-0 in favor of Portugal. Foiler then had a header that was clear off the line by Dallo in the 37th minute. And actually, it was one thing I didn't write here was the goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. He did a good job in terms of just kind of get something on it and kind of stop the pace of that ball, because if he didn't get that one, I don't think Dallo had any chance to clear that one off the line. Sommer then denied Ramos as he was in on goal, because, Gonzalo Ramos, he was definitely feeling it in this game. Keep in mind, this is only his fourth caps coming into this game, but he was a guy that they mentioned. He was a man on fire and a man in form coming into this tournament, and little did we know that he would definitely have a night to not forget. But Switzerland, I also thought that they had no answer in terms of the Portuguese counterattack. Like, Portugal was very lethal on their counterattack, and they're probably fortunate the fact that they're only down 2-0 heading into the second half. Unfortunately, they're not fortunate the fact that they would give up that third goal very quickly. And guess who? It's Ramos scoring here to make it 3-0 in favor of Portugal, before it was 4-0 in favor of Portugal, as Guerrero would score from Ramos to make it 4-0 in favor of the Portuguese. So already a great night for Gonzalo Ramos up to that point. Already 2 goals and an assist. And at that point, knowing the fact that this game kind of got out of hand, I kind of stopped really taking too much notes, because there really isn't much to take notes other than, as I mentioned, the main talking point coming into this game is Ronaldo going to be subbed into this one? Because after the Swiss did get one back, as Akanji did get one back for Switzerland to make it 4-1, the fans started chanting for Ronaldo to come in. Now, obviously, there's been talk, even with Portuguese fans, of the fact that do they think Ronaldo should be benched. And I think there was at some point in this broadcast, and well, actually, it's not just some point, it's like literally the last 20 minutes, I think John Strong and Stu Holding was kind of having that discussion of, well, what are you going to do now with Cristiano Ronaldo, now that the guy that replaced him is just going off. And in fact, that discussion gets even tougher, because he would score a hat-trick in the 67th minute and record the first hat-trick by a player in this World Cup, as he scored here from João Felix to make it 5-1 in favor of Portugal. And again, that now creates the discussion of the fact that knowing Ronaldo hasn't really been playing well, and the guy that just replaced him just scored a hat-trick, yeah, that's going to be a difficult decision, especially with the way that as I said, Portuguese fans. I think they have. There's the majority of them have said that they want Ronaldo to be benched and maybe have somebody that play in replace him there. And also, is this maybe like a situation that we saw with Zlatan with Sweden, where how when Sweden plays without Zlatan, they tends to do better when he is on the pitch. And I can understand why that is the case, because when you have like a superstar player, that he demands to have the ball and he demands to have those goals. And when you of course do that, then you kind of all of a sudden kind of focus on, well, we just got to keep feeding the ball. Like no matter if there is a better option, we just got to keep feeding the ball because he is the headline of this team. And sometimes that could go against you because, like I said, if there's a better option, you could have just used the other option instead of feeding you to your teammate. And I think in an MLS as kind of term, we have seen that happen a couple of times. Like, look at what happened when Zlatan came to the Galaxy, of how, yes, Zlatan had most of the chances, but that's because the Galaxy was keep feeding him, and that there's times where it kind of worked against the Galaxy, where there's times where they would just overly rely on Zlatan, and also kind of start to make them one dimensional with them just keep pumping the ball into the box. And that kind of is what every team's game plan is, where if you can stop those crosses from pumping into Zlatan, then you basically just stop the LA Galaxy. And that's kind of the same case with teams, where if you can stop Cristiano Ronaldo, then you probably could stop this Portuguese attack, because this Portuguese attack are just not going to change their game plan because they keep wanting to feed the ball to their main man. So yeah, I think maybe that's kind of the situation why maybe Portugal play much better on the attack, where they don't have that guy, where they just need to keep feeding the ball. Maybe just feed it to your other teammate that has a better option, and we're starting to see that. And speaking of which, in the 73rd minute, Ronaldo actually finally came into this game to the cheers of 80,000 plus inside Lusail Icon Stadium. And while Portuguese fans probably think that he probably should deserve to be benched, that's not the case inside the stadium. Like, I know a lot of people inside that stadium, they pay good money so that they can see Ronaldo play, and they finally got their wishes. Embolo then had an overhead kick that goes wide in the 80th minute, but then in the 84th minute, that stadium looked like it exploded when Ronaldo puts it into the back of the net. The only problem is it was offside, and it was not close whatsoever. Like, it was like he was at least 5 yards offside there, and that goal, of course, wouldn't count it. There was definitely some boos that was raining down the stadium, but I mean, you when you're 5 yards offside, you can't complain the fact that goal should be counted, and it should be this should not be disallowed, even if the game is already at 5-1. Speaking of 5-1, it would be 6-1 later on, but it's not Ronaldo that scored the goal. It's Rafael Leao scoring from Guerrero to make it 6-1 in favor of Portugal. And yeah, in the end, Portugal won 6-1 against Switzerland, and the shots of this one, 15 shots compared to 10 that Switzerland has, 3 shots on goal compared to 9 that Portugal has. Both teams had 3 shots off target, 3 shots that was blocked compared to 4 that Switzerland has, and possession-wise, 52% possession compared to the 48% possession that Portugal has. And like I said, really what's overshadowed in this game, besides the fact that it's a blowout, is now the discussion of what's going to happen with Ronaldo. Do you decide to maybe put him in the starting 11 in the next game, or do you decide to go with a hot hand in Gonzalo Ramos? Now, the logic would say that you got to put Gonzalo Ramos here. He's the guy that just came off of a hat-trick. He is probably the most confident and informed striker right now in this tournament. But again, it's not easy because, Ronaldo, he's not going to be happy with him getting benched from that team. And it seems like at least the media think that is the case, because I feel like the media has been very, very critical of Ronaldo, especially in this tournament, of him not being happy, where in reality that is not the case, because he still kind of celebrate with his teammates when those goals came in, and that he even said before that he rather win the World Cup than just score all the goals and maybe get exit out of the tournament. And that, yeah, again, that's going to be a big discussion heading into that game against Morocco, of the fact that, are we going to see Ronaldo or are we not going to see Ronaldo? And are we going to start to see a situation where Ronaldo is going to be reduced to be a super sub kind of role? Because after all, he is 38 years old. Well, he's 37, but he's approaching 38 next year. And that, just like Messi that we saw So, well, not exactly Messi, but I would say that Ronaldo, with the way that as much as he has been incredible doing the longevity that he has throughout his career, Father Time remains undefeated, and I think maybe Father Time is starting to catch up to Ronaldo there, and that I know he doesn't want to admit it. I mean, no athletes want to admit that Father Time is starting to catch him up, but it's getting to a point where maybe he might be starting to reduce to a super sub role, and also why that not really many clubs are thinking about getting him, and that there's now rumors saying that he actually is going to be playing in the Middle East to finish off his career. And anytime when you finish off your career in the Middle East, that means that that is pretty much the twilight of your career. But there you have it. That is pretty much it in terms of the two games to round off the round of 16. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this review? And hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and I of course will see you guys next time.